Well, here comes the audience. Welcome to 1 Million Cups today. We're so glad you're watching our video. Today we have Ellen Rohr with Bare Bones Biz. We also have Nick Penka with an online auto business, very innovative. Be sure after the presentations that you stick around and listen to the interviews with the presenters. Have a great day. Good morning. How many of you guys ready for another day of 1 Million Cups? You have your cup of coffee with you? You're good to go? Okay, we're set up. Just know that you can get up, you can go grab coffee anytime you want. Intermission, middle of the time, if you know the announcements, hey, get up, grab another cup of coffee. Make sure that you're talking to the people that you don't know. How many of you are here for the very first time? Okay, I see some hands. Thank you for coming. How many of you in the crowd are entrepreneurs in some capacity? Always a good portion of the crowd. We want to welcome you here today if this is your first time. Here's how this works. We have two presenters. They both take 6 to 8 minutes. They present, followed by 20 minutes of question and answers. Today, we have an incredible day. Some very innovative, creative people. So glad that you're here to listen to them. 1 Million Cups was started, the Kauffman Foundation in Kansas City. If you don't know about it, Google it. You'll find everything you could ever dream about it. And the idea is over 1 million cups of coffee. Imagine what we can do in the entrepreneurial community. Here are all of us as organizers. Philip Baird, myself, Jennifer Simpson DeCamp, Deb Bellotti, and Jonathan Putnam. We want to thank our community sponsors, Brick and Mortar Coffee. Always a great cup of coffee. Database Systems, your local premier Apple and Mac dealer. Springfield Art Museum. You guys loving this new venue? If you don't know, the Art Museum is open for business. Just go enjoy the art once the day ends. We also spark events. Over here, Bryce and his entire team, they do all the video. They do a lot of the setup. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the great work that you guys do. Connect with us every way imaginable. You see over on the left side, hashtag 1MCSGF. Make sure you're part of the conversation during the day. You have an announcement coming up for your group, your organization, something within the entrepreneurial community. Hashtag that, get it in front of us during the presentation today. Make sure that you're following on YouTube the 1 Million Cups presentations if you didn't have a chance to. Today, we have two great presenters, Ellen Rohr, Business Uncomplicated, Life Unleashed, and Make It Easy Autos. Let's give them a hand, and I'm going to welcome Nick up as he presents.
Thank you, good morning. As Craig told you, my name is Nick Penka. I'm CEO of Make It Easy Autos. Over the last 5 months, I've traveled across the country from Atlanta to Dallas and all around doing 1 Million Cups presentations as I meet with auto dealers. And one thing I wanted to say, you guys should be proud of your 1 Million Cups here in Springfield. I've been to 11 different presentations, done 11 different presentations, and this is about the second biggest crowd, of course, behind Kansas City. So you should be very proud of you guys here in Springfield. I presented to Springfield, was my very first presentation about a year and a half ago, and a lot has changed in my business since then, so I wanted to get you caught up on all the changes and then reintroduce you to Make It Easy Autos. Tommy Hilfiger once said that the road to success is not easy to navigate, but through hard work, drive, and passion, it is possible to achieve the American dream. In order for me to show you Make It Easy Autos' road to success, I first want to show you our mission. Make It Easy Autos' mission is to be the world's easiest website for buying and selling vehicles. We built our platform on one simple principle. To bring real value to the auto shopper, we first must bring real value to the auto dealer. So, let's go back down the hill, and so I can show you how we're going to achieve this mission. On average, consumers visit 8.8 auto websites before they step foot in a dealership. The main reason for this is inventory. Consumers want to make sure that the vehicle they are going to test drive is the perfect one for them at the lowest price. May 9th, 1950, Sam Walton opened Walton's Five and Dime in Bentonville, Arkansas. Sam believed that if he stocked his shelves with a wide variety of product or inventory, consumers would shop at his store over bigger stores like Sears and J.C. Penney's. Yet, in a world where inventory is king, the same success that Sam built in the retail world has not been duplicated in the auto industry. There are over 18,000 new car dealers and 109,000 used car dealers in the U.S. On average, new car dealers have about 500 vehicles, and used car dealers have about 26 vehicles. Obviously, single dealerships do not have enough inventory to satisfy today's auto shopper. The business model of lead-generating third-party auto websites keeps them from getting the inventory that is needed to dominate the market as well. With this business model, dealers have to pay in advance for leads, and the return on investments that dealers get when partnering with sites like these makes it almost impossible for dealers to join. Like Make It Easy Autos, TrueCar.com is a performance-based auto website. This means we do not get paid until we sell a vehicle for a dealer. But, unlike Make It Easy Autos, TrueCar.com's advertising campaign creates unnecessary competition with the very dealers they are serving, and because of this, dealers all across the country are refusing to partner with TrueCar. The lack of a dominant auto website in today's market has created a space for Make It Easy Autos to thrive. Third-party auto websites do not have to be competition with auto dealers. Like I said earlier, we built our platform on one simple principle. To bring real value to the auto shopper, which is inventory and tons of it, we first must bring real value to the auto dealer to get them to join. Make It Easy Auto's business model and development infrastructure gives us the ability to partner with every auto dealer, no matter their size or the capacity to market themselves online. In order for Make It Easy Autos to stand on our own in this competitive environment, we have to do three things. We have to bring real value or benefit to the dealer to get them to join. We have to bring real value and benefit to the consumer for them to use our website, and I'll show you our website real quick here in a minute. And we also have to bring real value to us and our investors. The ability to sign up every auto dealer gives us a marketing edge over our competition and a great reason for consumers to never leave our website. What I'll show you on our website is the ability for consumers to search based on their monthly budget also gives us a marketing advantage over our competition. Make It Easy Autos is currently scaling our business through our regional royalty investment program, and I'll show you a map of how we do that in a second. There are no limits to our growth potential. We started in Springfield, Missouri in 2012 with 20 auto dealers. Today we are receiving inventory from over 20,000 auto dealers in Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. And we've divided up the country into 10 regions. Each one of these regions has about the same equal amount of auto dealers, and in each region we are seeking investments of $150,000 to be able to hire sales staff in each of those regions to be able to sign up dealers and grow our business nationally. That is how we are going to achieve our mission to be the world's easiest website for buying and selling vehicles. I want to show you the website real quick because I have a minute to show you the value. I think it's shrunk down because of that stuff on the side. Well, it's not important. One of the things that so the ability to search based on your budget, when you put in your budget, you put in where you live and how far you want to go, then you put search. That will show you all the vehicles that you can afford that fit within your budget. This way, the moment you do this, you're looking at 1,215 vehicles that fall within your budget of whatever, $350. So this makes it easy for consumers who are looking for vehicles based on their budget to find them quickly. Once you click on a vehicle, we show you, if you want to just click on any of those, we show you we can send you straight to the dealer if you want to go to the dealer and look at the vehicle from the dealer perspective. Or you can use our system. This is our back-end system that allows you to communicate with dealers and them never know who you are. So you can ask them questions, you can negotiate, you can set up test drives, and they don't get your email address, they don't get your phone number, so they can't call you and try to sell you a car. This allows a consumer to shop in relative peace without worrying that their information is going to be sold to dealers. But if you don't care about that and you want to go straight to the dealer to look at the vehicle, you can do that by clicking right there. So that's just a quick 6-minute explanation of who we are and what we do. I'm ready to take any questions that you have for me.
And here's how this works. If you have a question to ask, raise your hand up. I'll point to you. You'll stand up till your question gets to be asked. We'll go from one side to the other, from one microphone to the other. And so, Michael, go ahead.
Good morning.
Morning.
Nice presentation.
Thank you.
If I type in $200, is it going to show me new, used, and cars for lease?
Yes.
Especially, it's going to even show
It's
leases?
new, used, and leased vehicles, right?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So with the option for those consumers to avoid sharing their information with the dealers, are you getting kickback? How are you selling that to the dealers to become part of your program and not have access to that information?
Well, okay, the benefits to the dealers are every month they get to market their vehicles on our website for free. They only pay me when I sell a vehicle for them. So the amount of security that I put in the system isn't enough to keep them from not joining, right? So there are a lot of dealers who would like that information. And let's say you come to the website and you go through and you ask the dealer questions. It's kind of like Craigslist where you email and you get a coded email back. That's the kind of protection we have. But let's say that eventually you want to go see the vehicle. Well, at that point, when you go to the dealer, you give up your information, they have it. So it's really a protection until you're very ready to give up your information. Because if you use AutoTrader or Cars.com or something like that, you have to put in information, and they sort of sell that to multiple dealers, so you're getting calls from other people. It's not a deterrent for them not to join because they only pay when I sell a vehicle for them.
In the back, the plaid.
So do you mind answering the question, how many cars on average a month are you selling?
We're selling, well, we're in what we're calling the dealer acquisition phase. So right now, most of our concentration is on getting dealers to sign up. When we started in 2012, we started advertising pretty heavily, and we got a lot of consumers. We sold cars, but we were losing 95% of the consumers because we didn't have enough vehicles. So we sort of flipped the script a little bit and decided that we're going to not market and lose those consumers. We're going to sign up dealers. So what we do is I go to a dealer, I show them the website, I give them all the value and benefits. There's a one-time small fee to join, but after that they only pay for a sale. And I give them 2 years of free sales, free everything, so I can, over the next 2 years, build up my marketing in those towns. Like we're now building up marketing in Columbia, stuff like that. So I wouldn't say we're not selling a lot of cars, but mainly it's because we're not advertising a lot. What we want to do is have enough vehicles so when you come to the website, you don't leave and go to someone else because you didn't find the perfect vehicle.
Devin in the back.
Hey, so you mentioned you're not grabbing email addresses and phone numbers, but are you grabbing IP addresses or cookies and retargeting or remarketing to that information and or selling that to other advertisers?
No, we're not. In order for us to be able to know if someone went and bought a vehicle, we do track the consumer through that process. And so we know their URL, stuff like that, but we're not selling it, we're not marketing to them. What we want to do is build a website that's not invasive to the consumer, right? So it allows a consumer to be able to do this in relative peace and quiet. And so we're not doing those kind of things. We know when you come to the website, if you've been there, if you're new, that kind of stuff. We know the new URLs, all that kind of stuff, but we don't retarget to them. And we don't allow the dealer to market to them either. In order for a dealer to move up there on the search, so there was 1,200 vehicles showed up in that search. If they want to be up at the top of the search, then what they have to do is work within our system to increase their ratings. So the better that they treat our customers, the better that they let us know if a customer showed up, if they bought, if they didn't, all this kind of communications we have with the dealer, the better ratings they get to move up in the search. So we don't even sell the ability for a dealer to pay to get to the top of the search. We use a rating system so that if you're looking at the vehicles, at the top of the search, you're looking at the dealers that have treated us the best, treated the consumers the best, that type of stuff.
LaDonna?
Yes, ma'am.
I used one of these services a few months, probably about a year ago to look for a car, and I got a call every week for like 3 months.
Okay, so let me tell you how that works, and then you can.
Okay, well, so I understand that you're not going to do that, right, with your service?
Right.
Well, the other part of my question, that was a comment, but my question is, what is the advantage to this consumer other than that, and to have us use this site over other sites?
So the 3 things that we are doing is, let's take the Walmart example. In order for consumers, in order for consumers to use the website, we have to have enough vehicles that they don't want to leave. So the benefit to the consumer is eventually, as we grow our network, is that there's more vehicles on us than anybody. What we get that most of these other websites don't is the smaller dealers, the dealers that can't afford the $11,000 a month for for Auto Trader or Cars.com. And so we're having a lot of vehicles that other websites don't have. And that's one of the benefits to the consumers. There's more options, right? The other is the idea that I got that built the ability to search by your budget was from my son. He was turning 15. He was looking for a car. His budget was up here. Mine was down here, right? And I told my wife, I said, I wish that there was a website that I could tell Vincent, go to put $200 a month. That's all I could afford for you, a car, and see what shows up in your range, which allows us to then to go look at those vehicles. So the ability for a consumer to say, I have a budget for myself, let's say it's $350, which is about average, and I want to see what falls within that range. Instead of going and looking at a vehicle, saying, oh, wow, that's great, ooh, that's cool, oh, crap, that's expensive. Go back and start all over. Ooh, that's great, oh, man, I can't afford that. So what we're doing is we're giving people more choices, more options. We're giving them an opportunity to quickly find the vehicles they can afford, and then we're protecting them through the system if they want to use it. I'm telling you right now that 90% of the people who use our website go directly to the dealer, which is benefit to the dealer, meaning they don't use our protection system yet. It's usually a female demographic who doesn't want to deal with the dealer as much. But guys who come to the website, they just go straight to the dealer and they communicate with them, which is fine to us because we're bringing value to the dealer to keep them on our website. What we want to do is build a system where there's no reason for a dealer to leave Make It Easy Autos or not to join. And so eventually we have all the dealers.
So if I want to put in options like heated seats, cruise control, things like that, your system will accommodate that?
Yeah.
And so
whatever a dealer has on his website as all the features, we have on ours as well.
I see. So you get paid by the dealer. That's why you don't really care if they go directly to the dealer, if the referrals come from you?
I don't get paid if they go directly to the dealer. But for now, that's fine, because what I'm doing is building a dealer network that rivals or is bigger than anybody. So bringing more value to the dealer is fine with me right now. I don't need to get paid every time I send someone to the dealer. What I do is I show the dealers how many people I'm sending to them for free for now. So here's how it works. Eventually, as I get more known and my branding gets bigger and people know me, they're going to use my system more, and I'm going to sort of control the amount of information that is given unless they use my system. But now I don't care. Right now, all I care is that, number one, dealers are joining, dealers aren't quitting, and consumers are starting to learn how my product works. And if they use the product that I get paid for, that's fine for now. And eventually, I'll be able to close that gap to get more people to do it. But I can also tell the dealers, hey, listen, you could see I sent you 7 leads, and one of them went through my system and bought. So that's fine for me right now.
In the back here.
I think it's a great path you're going down.
Thank you.
In the real estate industry, one of the biggest problems with sites that are similar to this is the accuracy of the inventory. In fact, a lot of them have failed because of that. A lot of them are kind of going to the wayside because of that. I realize that you're kind of at the mercy of the website itself, that the car dealer and its accuracy. What are you doing to improve that or being able to enhance that? And what are your plans for that? Also, what are you going to do to market the product to the consumer?
In the auto industry, there's what's called aggregates. Inventory management company or aggregates. And aggregates are companies that partner with auto dealers. And we're an aggregate too if a dealer doesn't have one, but it pushes their inventory every day to the website. So every morning, every night, I get feeds from all of my dealers that are updated information. So if a vehicle sells, usually, let's say within 2 days, it's off of their inventory back-end system, so it comes off of mine. It's pretty accurate. I mean, there are times where dealers don't take vehicles off. So their sort of philosophy is they get more leads and they say, oh, that one just sold or something like that, and I can't control that. But the accuracy, I'm as accurate as AutoTraderCars.com because I get the same feeds that they do. And how I'm going to market it, I have to build a brand. I have to get people to know who I am and what I do to be able to come to the website, right? And so that has requires me to build a brand. I do some retargeting marketing myself, follow people around to see if they're looking for vehicles. But if they don't know me, if they don't know my logo or anything about me, they're less likely to click on my link or stuff like that. So right now I'm focused on getting dealer signups and then giving them a lot of stuff free to get them to join. Eventually I'll have to build my brand through marketing.
Right at your second row.
Yeah, last time my wife and I bought a car, great presentation, by the way. Thank you very much. We didn't need one right away. We had a little bit of time to work with, but we were very specific about we want this model within this range of years and this color and in this price range. Do you have the feature, or have you considered for the future a feature where you can be specific about the kind of car you want, and if it's not out there now, you can be alerted if it comes available?
If the website was up, you can search on us for a specific vehicle. So our main marketing is sort of focused on people finding them based on their budget, but right underneath it, you could put in make, model, mileage, cost, stuff like that to be able to find a specific vehicle. It's usually a male demographic who are looking for a specific.
This was my wife who wanted.
Oh, well, okay, right. No. So I messed up there. No, I mean, we do have that option to be able to search based on specifics. And in our system, there's called My Autos, where you can save vehicles to it. And if that vehicle goes on sale, if there's a special, one of the things that I only had 6 minutes, so I didn't get to tell you everything. One of the things dealers can do on the website is, if you go to the website and click on one of their vehicles, they have a back-end system that automatically loads messages. And that message can pop up on your screen and say, hey, we're having a 4th of July sale. This particular vehicle is $500 off or something like that. So they can communicate to you. They don't know who you are or anything, but you can get little information from the dealer about special offers and stuff like that through our system, which is a benefit to the dealer to be able to do that. So let's say they have a sale coming up. They can click on all of their vehicles in their inventory and say, huge inventory reduction sale. Or they can click on just Ford F-150s and say these are 0% interest from the manufacturer type stuff, and those kind of come to you as well. So you can search for specific vehicles, and you can also get alerts and different informations about that vehicle if it changes prices, stuff like that.
Right here in the burgundy.
Hi, I'm Melanie with Great Southern. I was just wondering how you are marketing this to the dealerships, and then I may have a suggestion.
Well, right now I have 2 salespeople and me. And we have a list and we have connections and a lot of that kind of stuff. And that's sort of how we're not yet buying marketing in like publications, national publications for auto dealers, stuff like that. We haven't gone to trade shows yet. We're just really, just calling, introducing ourselves, meeting them. As I travel around the country to 1 Million Cups, I meet with dealers there. So I've been to Atlanta and Dallas and spent a week there calling on dealers. That's kind of my main.
Okay, I have a suggestion. Banks across the country have sales reps that go into the dealerships.
Who does? Say that again.
Banks.
Banks?
Different banks across the country. There's many, many. And if you could reach those banks and have their sales reps sell your product just, quickly along with their regular sales calls, you would reach the whole United States.
Right.
So,
good idea. Thank you.
just a suggestion.
Thank you.
Jeremy.
That's why we do this, by the way.
So essentially to the dealer, it's kind of free. So it's a no-brainer for dealers to get involved with this and scale that up. What I'm kind of curious of, with having no cost that you're getting back from them making money off of dealers, how do you scale this to pay for the eyeballs to get the consumer to your site? Because there's a natural need for marketing to get as many eyeballs to buy the inventory. If you have a lot of inventory with no customers, that's kind of a problem.
Well, you're right, it is a problem. But it was the worst, it's sort of, as entrepreneurs, you understand the worst of 2 evils, right? The worst thing that happened that I did was I went out and I spent a bunch of money marketing, and I got consumers to the website, and then they left without doing anything. They left without buying, they left without stuff, because I didn't have what they wanted. So I will eventually, this plan that I have in place right now will eventually morph into, the first, let's say right now, we're calling on dealers in Texas. Well, eventually when we get, let's say, 100 to 150 in a certain area where we feel there's enough inventory, then the next group is not going to get the same free offers, right? I mean, it's right now sort of an introductory offer to the dealers in those new areas. It's not the same offer after we get established. So I am willing to sacrifice the money that I would be getting back from these car sales to introduce myself to the dealers. You're saying it's sort of a no-brainer, and I would think the same thing. But these are auto dealers we're dealing with, and they always think that there's someone trying to scam them. I mean, they get called on a lot, and they have different mechanisms in place so that they don't get called on by salespeople. So when I get to them, which is the hardest part of my job, is getting to the dealer and introduce myself, they still kind of feel like there's something wrong there, or it doesn't exactly match. So it is a harder sales process now, which is why I'm giving up more now to do it. Eventually, as we get bigger and more dealers know us and more dealer groups know us, then the offers won't be that way.
Well, great job, Nick.
Thank you.
We always like to ask, what can we as a community do for you?
Well, the three things that I always say, and the hardest part of my job, which I just mentioned, was dealer introductions. The process that it takes to get through all the roadblocks to get to a dealer is the hardest part. And I've had huge success with 1 million cups when I presented to people to introduce me to dealers that they know. So that's always the key. If they call and say, hey, I want you to see this guy, he presented and I think it would be great for you, I get to the decision maker of the dealers immediately. So that's any connections you have would be great. The other thing is we are hiring right now phone sales people who are good on the phone, who have the ability to get a list and call and continue to call, to set up meetings for me or to sell on the phone themselves, and there's commission off of that. And there was the third thing, but I forgot it now. It must not be that important to my business. Oh yeah, it probably is. My royalty investment program, we have the opportunity to introduce ourselves to small investors in different regions and hire sales staff in those regions as sort of a command hub to be able to sign up dealers. And so getting introduced to possible investors who are interested in getting a return back. So every dealer we sign up, they get money back towards their investment. That is the other thing that we talk about when I go across the country. So those are the three things.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Well, I was just so technically awesome last week that I'm going to do announcements again. So I know if you were here, it was just great. So we're going to go through these kind of quick, and then I've got a couple of things I need to talk about. Missouri State is having their business in Missouri, April 28th. Ooh, that's gone. Well, there you go. Well, this is really what I wanted to talk about mainly, was the Rohr Uncanned Bring Your Non-Perishable Food Items. The Springfield Art Museum, as you know, we touched on it last week and kind of joked about it, but they did have a theft, and so they have a situation going where they're working with a food bank, Ozark Food Harvest. So Nick wanted me to let you know that they're doing the Rohr Uncanned, and if you can, with 1MC, when you come in, you can bring it to the lobby, and the things they need the most are tuna or other canned meats, peanut butter, beans, soups and stews, boxed meals, rice and pasta, and canned vegetables and fruits, and you can pick up more information about that out front. The Small Business and Technology Development Center, Missouri State University, is doing the Successful Business Planning and Funding May 4th and 5th. It's $139. QuickBooks for Your Business, May 5th, 5 p.m., 8:30 to 5, $179. And Analyzing and Managing Your Cash Flow, May 10th. Spark, by the way, is awesome. Refine M is doing their training. They've got a project management professional exam prep. That's the 9th through the 12th, 8:30 to 4:30, 2 p.m. or save $200. That's awesome. And Ozark Regional Agile User Group, May 13th, eFactory, the Cox Room. Register for free on themeetup.com. And Sato 2016. I spent a lot of time there screening their movies. They're doing May 5th, a recognition and award ceremony and an after party. If you have not been, you should go. It is a lot of fun. Dress up really nicely, though, because otherwise you'll be embarrassed if you're in your jeans. And there's online voting with Fox 5 for your favorite award, May 6th through the 12th, and their 11th anniversary TV special, May 12th. And go to sato48.com for more info. If you have an announcement, you can see right here how to get the announcements over to us. We're doing a little bit, technology was a little bit different today, but anything you need to do, you can go to that place. I wanted to also let you know that Micah, who is one of our local artists, she has had work in the Art Museum. Right now it is in the gift shop, so please go take a look at her work. She's awesome. She also had work over at the E-Factory as well. All right, so on to our next presenter, who is, I think she's probably pretty ferocious, Ellen Rohr. She's gonna do a great job. Please give her a great welcome.
Yay, thank you. Ferocious. Yeah. Ferocious, that's a great word. That's me. When I was 6 years old, and we had a summer house in Ocean City, New Jersey, and down the street was a little deli called Los O'Leary's. And they sold, you know, bagels and cold cuts and penny candy back in the day. And I bought a bag of penny candy and I took it back to our house and I put a card table out front and I spread out the penny candy and I sold it for 2 pennies. And that was my entrepreneurial moment, because I figured out that if you charged more than it costs for stuff, you manufacture your own money. Business is easy. And I learned that when I was 6 years old. Now, my target market was my mom. My mom's here today. Say hi to Eleanor. Yeah. Thanks. She bought my candy, and so did her friends, and I had this experience of understanding how business worked. And then later on, I forgot that. I went to school. It was great. I learned a lot. I did not learn what it takes to be successful, even though I have a degree in business administration. I graduated at the top of my class. I thought I knew something. I had a lot of jobs. I ended up working in a career, making money. But in school, they taught me things like you have to charge what the market will bear. And there's this thing called the going rate. So I married a guy named Hot Rod. What's your name, baby? He said Hot Rod, so I married him. My mom's going, really? And I said, yeah, but he's a plumber. And plumbers make a lot of money. I thought this was a selling feature. And so I married my husband, Hot Rod the plumber, and this is our son, Max, who's now 30, and this is my big 80s hair. All right, and while I had a career, my husband had a business. And he had a partner named Yox. They were best friends since they were 8 years old. And Yox was a worrier. He was a guy who sacrificed a lot for his business. Know anybody like this? Somebody who sacrifices their health or their relationships for the business? Well, Yox at age 33 worked a 100-hour work week and stressed out, went to the hospital, and died. My husband's partner died at age 33. So don't do that. That's one of my tips for today. All right? Let's make this a little bit easier. That's one of the things I learned, one of the basics. So then I went to work for my husband, the plumber, and I said, I know about business. You can turn wrenches. We'll get rich. And it was awful. Is there anybody who's in a family business? Kooky, right? Adds a whole element of kooky. And we ended up just hating on each other. I would say, we don't have enough money. And he would hear, I'm not good enough. So one of the things that I learned in business was to pay attention to the money. We were dying. I had called my competition and asked them how much they charged, forgetting what I learned in the penny candy world, which is that you have to charge what it costs. No matter what, you have to charge more than it costs, no matter what your competition is doing. And as Jeremy brought out, ultimately a business model has to make money. That's the good question, right? How do we monetize this? So luckily, I found a mentor, and that's why we're here, right? To help each other, help a brother and a sister out. I found a mentor in the pages of a magazine, Plumbing and Mechanical Magazine. I'm sure you subscribe. All right, and this guy, this old fart from Milwaukee, another plumber, reminded me, you got to charge more than it costs. You got to add up your cost of doing business, divide by the number of widgets you could sell, and if you're in the service business, this is super easy. Easy. You divide by the number of billable hours you could sell. Now, if you have a more complicated model, you do a few permutations. You come up with a couple of assumptions and you crunch the numbers. But ultimately, you know if you're making money or not because you keep score. And one of the ways to make your lives and your businesses uncomplicated is get a handle on the score. Learn how to read a balance sheet. Figure out your asset from your elbow. I didn't want to do it. Oh, I'm way too creative. I don't have the attention span for that. It's not that hard. Quit whining and just do it. Elbow to elbow with someone like Abacus, with an accountant who's going to be progressive and sit with you and go line by line through those financials so that you can know where the money goes. Another thing I learned that I want to share, how to make business easy and uncomplicated. Business gets complicated. My mission in life is to help you find the freedom that encouraged you to start a business in the first place. This whole thing is a lot easier than we make it. So one of the ways to make it uncomplicated is charge what you need to charge, and then figure out how to add so much value that people say yes to your prices. Easy peasy. You know what I did at Hot Rod's company? I bought them shirts. Previously, we raised our prices. Previously, one of our guys wore a shirt that said, "Kill them all, let God sort them out." So we got them shirts. And what I found, this is so easy. What I found out is that if you show up, if you're in the service business and you show up clean, sober, on time, and dressed right, you can charge 5 times what the competition is charging. And I proved that out over and over. In 1995, we sold our company to our employees because one of the things I learned about business is that you've got to figure out the money. And once we did, money buys options. I turned to my husband, the plumber, and I said, "So what do you want to do next?" And he said, "You know what? I like working all by myself." Which didn't leave a career path for moi. But there's no wrong in any of this. You get to do what you want. It's his business, it's his life. So we sold our company. He went off and started his own business, working for people he liked on projects that are interesting, and he just rocked it. And then I tried to figure out how I could serve. I ended up writing a few books. I write skinny books with pictures. This is so easy, this stuff. And what I learned, I started to share with other plumbers' wives, with other mom and pop shops. And lo and behold, at a thing like this, I get approached by a group of venture capitalists, and they say, "We want you to help us grow the world's largest home service plumbing company," to which I reply, "Yes, I can." And I run to the store and I get franchising for dummies, and we end up starting Benjamin Franklin, the punctual plumber, who runs trucks in this city, and I'm super proud of that. And on my watch, we grew from 0 to 47 locations across the country in under 2 years, 40 million in franchisee sales. I got the scars to show for it. And I'll tell you how I did it. We made it really simple. Yes. Oh, I got to stop talking. Okay, so we want to answer questions and everything. Thanks, Craig, for keeping an eye on me. So make business easy. Make your life easy. Pick something you want to do and put it in the corner of the room. And there's a whole bunch of ways you can get there. Pick one and go. And then measure your results. We call this dream, act, test. Adjust. Do it again. Lighten up about this. One of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to speak at Harvard. I didn't go to Harvard, but I spoke at Harvard. All right, and I am a champion of businesses of all shapes and sizes and ages. And I thought, one of the things I do is I work with Wells Fargo. I give their money away in contests. And this entrepreneur won $25,000. He started his business at age 88. He's 91 now. 88. How cool is this? And he's got a billion with a B dollar business plan, and it fits on one piece of paper. All right, so make this easy, have some fun. My intention today as I came to 1 Million Cups was to encourage you to uncomplicate your business. Live life unleashed. Find the freedom that that caused you to, embrace that entrepreneurial seizure and hang up your shingle for yourself. So now I am open for questions.
See, I did think you were
Thank you.
ferocious.
I'm so happy
So
to
great.
be here. I think this group is so awesome, and what a neat opportunity.
Hello, that's fantastic.
You love
Absolutely fabulous. So now, what did you say that your husband is doing now?
My husband, and is Mary Giles still here? Okay, my husband, we moved out here because my husband, who is a radiant heat and solar guru, is friends with the Childs family. Do y'all know them, or does anybody know them? They used to have Heatway and Watts Radiant. And so we discovered the Ozarks because we came out here. So when we sold our company, we moved here as a result of that friendship. And then he started a company that did radiant and solar heat.
Radiant and solar heat.
Yeah, so he makes warm water from the sun.
Great.
Yeah.
That's
And now-
fantastic.
Yeah, and now he teaches people how to do that across the world. He works with an Italian manufacturer, and he's a rock star. And we're still married, and I have no idea how.
And then
I have no idea how.
Then there's the Ben Franklin Plumbing.
There's been Franklin.
And it's a franchise,
too.
right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Wow, that is freaking awesome. Thank you.
Well, thanks for bragging on us.
So I'd like to sign up to be the first person to get your advice, by the way, with our company.
Where are
But
you?
I'll
Joe
find
Dahl's
you
in the
after.
back. Joe, would you stand up for us so
Sure.
everyone can stare at you?
I know you.
I know. Hi, Ellen.
I have your granola.
Glad to hear that.
Thank you. It is buy his granola. Granola love.
That's right.
Okay, yeah, awesome. And he's a rock star television celebrity.
No,
I
no, no.
also
Wait,
aspire to that.
I get to ask the questions here.
Oh, sorry.
Just for the moment, anyway. Do you have a business, and what's your business plan? I mean, are you a consultant then that you help companies like ours? And be a
Yes.
little more specific about that, because you have me intrigued.
Okay, I put this here, if you can see it, ellen@ellenrohr.com, and then you can find me by Ellen Rohr, ELLENROHR. Let's connect in any way, shape, or form. And I am kind of an anti-consultant, an unconsultant, because what I teach is so easy that you might not need me. Everything I do is to empower you to just do the few things. Now, a great place to start is this book I wrote called The Weekend Biz Plan. Someone said, how fast can I put a business plan together? I don't know, an afternoon, a weekend? I tell you what to do all weekend long. Just let me boss you around. Now, some people don't like to read. I get that. So on my website, I'm looking for ways to, Jeremy and I put together a video program inspired by like Create Live, where you can watch the videos, do a little bit of the exercises, and come up with a business plan that suits you. A Pinterest board might do it. A vision board might do it. An essay of what I really, really want. Clarifying that intention. I'll tell you this, the business owners with whom I've worked or known or read about who have the most success by their own yardstick are those who have clarity of intention. Write this down. Intention trumps action. That's how you make it easier. Am I right, Marlene? Marlene and I are total soul sisters here. So the business plan is your ability to clarify what you want so that if you're doing stuff that doesn't align, stop doing it. And I know you work with your wife too, right? The two of you do the business plan. And this is a tough love piece of advice. I believe there can be one person at the top of an organization. You can be 50-50 owners, but somebody in your company has to be a buck stops here person. If you don't like what I'm saying, throw it out. It's just one woman's opinion. But that's what you asked me to give.
Right up here.
Did that help at all? Weekend Biz Plan, great place to start. Connect with me, my blog. I'm trying to share this encouragement and tips for making things simpler, uncomplicated. Start with the money, put a little business plan together, and I've got stuff to help, or I can resource you other places. So as long as we connect, I think I could be of service to you, and I love what you're doing. Yay, okay. And look at you, we've met before.
So a little more clarity as an entrepreneur on your business plan for your business. It sounds like you have a lot of educational, promotional materials and support and guidance.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how you plan to expand, and are you thinking about training others and franchising your own business?
I am in complete career crisis right now. Does that help anyone feel encouraged? Okay, for the last 12 years, I've been a business consultant. And I love consulting. If you are thinking about getting a consultant, that can be a really great thing. Athletes get coaches, you all know this. But I'm kind of tired of it. Why? You get to decide. And so I thought, well, how else can I help? A lot of the stuff that I teach is so basic, you really don't need me. So I'm trying to make it available online so that I'm becoming an online marketer. If you want to, I put a little page together for you today called ellenrohr.com/cups. If you type that in, you're going to get a freebie, a little one-page financial report that I give out. And you'll see my effort at creating an online marketing campaign. So you'll go through what I've got. If it's broken or something, let me know, because we're new to this. So I'm trying to get more information out there in low-cost, easy-access ways to help as many people as possible. On another vertical is, this is darling, I started a drain and sewer franchise. I no longer work for Benjamin Franklin. I started another franchise called Zoom Drain and Sewer. We're located in Philadelphia, Long Island, now Boston, and I'm flirting with a guy in Baltimore. Super exciting. Super exciting there. So what I'd like to do is more speaking and expand my online marketing so that when I speak, I could find perhaps appropriate people for the franchise opportunity, as well as turn them on to my website and my community and see if we're a good fit there. So, how do you monetize that? I'm hoping that low price tag, easy access information, podcast, stuff to get you into our funnel, and then hopefully you buy a book for $4.95. Come on, you cheapskates. Hello. Okay.
Marlene, this is Ellen's soul sister,
Yay!
international speaker,
I told
Marlene
Marlene.
Chisholm.
I said if I've got crickets, Marlene, I'm counting on you to ask a question.
Well, this is that moment. No, I'm teasing. I'm joking. I love you, Ellen.
I do too, for you.
Just to kind of go back to Joe's question, if someone wanted to hire you as a consultant and they gave you enough money, you would work with them one-on-one. Is that correct?
I might, because you may not need me, or I could turn you on to someone else who could. What I'm finding is, and this is what you'll find as an entrepreneur, if you want to do something new, you have to say no to something.
Okay.
So to carve out that space, and have you ever been in that situation where you decide, I don't want to do that, and then there's a gap between the next revenue producing, who's been there? But if you don't create that space.
So are you still doing, I know for a while, and I've followed you, we've been friends for a long time, but I know you were doing like group kind of coaching and consulting. Are you also leaving that because you want this bigger presence and more leveraged?
Yeah, I want it, because Marlene will relate to this. My ultimate dream, so I've got the franchise, I've got the online business. You know what my ultimate dream is? Wouldn't I be darling on a Bravo reality TV show helping people fix their businesses?
Yes.
So, some people think I'm silly for dreaming that, but I don't care because that's what I want. So if you want to make business and life really, really simple, as a consultant, the question I just ask over and over again is, what do you want? What do you want? I don't care what anybody else wants. And then, as a consultant, I would say, okay, the more clarity you have on that, the easier it is to put a little plan together, come up with a list of top projects, energize them. The basic stuff that I teach, I know I sound like the unconsultant, like you really don't need me. You don't really need anybody. Sometimes it helps to have community and mentorship and someone to tell you to knock it off if you're being silly. But everything that you have that you learned from your mom once upon a time, you know what to do. You know what to do. Business is easy. Put a little plan together. If you were going to throw your mom a party, wouldn't you make a list? This is not as hard as we're making it. So I shouldn't have asked you to come, because now I'm all emotional.
You can cry, you're amongst friends.
I can cry.
Back here.
Okay, sorry, let's go.
Hi, I'm Deb Wilson with OSTEEB, and since you know the child, I took Dan's dream of having a maker fair and actually made it a reality last year with the Ozarks Mini Maker Fair. And the question, yeah, it really went well. We had about 3,000 people attend the first time, and we think it's going to double this year. And the issue that I have, though, is getting some of the high-tech businesses in the area to understand what a maker fair is and understand that it's not just an educational thing. I'm really trying to get the whole area to understand that we can all come to the table, whether you're a preschooler or whether you're CEO of a top tech company, and all have something to share and to talk about. And it really is such a new and innovative type of platform that it's hard for me to get some of the high-techy people to really understand what's in it for them and how to get that PR so that they're not so unapproachable.
May I get a little tough love with you, sister?
Yes.
Why would they go? What's in it for them? Like, you can leave the microphone right there, because I'll be a consultant to you right now. Like, tell me why I would go.
Well, the reason you would go is because, one, you would get it's kind of a PR thing to show the public who and what you are.
Okay.
It shares your knowledge with the general public, and then it also gives you an avenue to talk to people that, from the general public sector, that might give you some ideas into forming what they really need.
Okay, and if you can get that really short and tight, and if you could have a few elevator speeches based on what they need.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay, so like your challenge isn't them, it's you. Here's another really basic way to uncomplicate your business and your life, and probably absolutely why I am still married. See, that was like, God, pay attention to this one. Yeah, this is an underlined moment. The only person you can change is you. Who's figured this one out? Talk about uncomplicated. So instead of thinking, why don't they get this? And this is why, thanks for bringing this up. I hope you don't mind me using this as an example. They're not getting it. There's nothing you can do to change them. What you have to look at is, what is my message? What is my approach? Am I doing a needs assessment? Am I asking good questions and listening? What is in it for them? And then to be able to communicate better is what's going to make that more magnetic. So like with your employees, who here has employees? You can't get them to do anything. You can't get them to show up for work. What, are you going to go over there? Dress them, put their costume on, shave their face? You have to consider, what game am I playing that's so magnetic that people would want to come? Because whether it's marketing or in business, there's growing more calls and growing more people to serve them. Isn't that ultimately what a lot of us have to do? All right, so how do we make our proposition so compelling that someone wants what we have and we can communicate that, like, oh, that's what I need. And then how do you make your game so interesting that people would come and play? I hear all the time in my industry, oh, we can't find skilled people. Well, who are you? Why would anyone want to work for you? What are you doing to help them get skilled? Are you loving this? Look at you. You're the best audience member ever. Have this guy in your audience wherever you speak. So, okay, another question. I don't know what we have for time. I'm having a great time. Can we stay till 3? No.
Well, we are actually going to ask our last question, which is always the same. What can we as a community do for you?
Well, thank you very much for having me today. I've had a blast. I love being on stage. So one thing, if you do have a group that you want me to speak with and talk about how we can make business and life uncomplicated, have more freedom, have more fun, live life unleashed, I am available for that. So I would like to do more speaking and reach more people. So if you have an opportunity that for me along those lines, please contact me. The second thing is, let's connect. Whatever you use, Facebook or Instagram, or you like to email, or I'll even talk on the phone, pick a method of communication. And could we be friends? Would that be good? I'd love that. And then the last thing is to lighten up. You're doing fine. It's all good. There's no judgment, only love out here. And the reason why you hung up your shingle is for the freedom, for the fun, for the joy, and may this be a reminder that that's all you really need. Fair enough? Yay, okay, thanks. You get this book. Okay, all right, thank you.
All right, guys, this wraps up another Wednesday here at 1 Million Cups. Quick shout out, is Ken Coleman still in the audience? Did you take off, Ken? I met Ken for the first time this morning. He's getting ready to present his new company here in 2 weeks. But he said something that I just wanted to to share with you guys. He's been coming to 1 Million Cups for a year and a half now, and he thought, Ken's retired, he thought that he was too old to start a new business, just felt this intimidation that came with the idea of starting a new business. He has started a new business. He'll be presenting in 2 weeks, and he said that he attributes the courage, the mindset that, okay, this is doable, to coming to 1 Million Cups over the last year and a half and listening to you guys speak about your stories. Another one of those moments, all right? I'm about to say something really important. No, I want to encourage you guys to please invite a friend, come back next week, help us continue to grow the entrepreneurial community here. We really appreciate it. I also think that Ken's testimonial is really a testament to what the original organizers did to bring this here to Springfield, to grow it to the third largest in the world. Quick shout out to Sterling Huff, Devin Dillon, Rick Thomas, and Chad Carlton for bringing this here and helping us grow this to what it is. So see you guys next week. Thanks for coming. Hey, we're here with Nick with MakeItEasyAutos.com, just presented today at 1 Million Cups Springfield. You had mentioned something today, Nick, about how you've presented at 1 Million Cups all across the country now. How does the Springfield's 1 Million Cups organization compare to the others that are out there?
Well, I mean, my success with 1 Million Cups started here in Springfield, where my first presentation, I met a guy who has changed my business. I mean, we've worked together since then. So I felt like this is something I could take on the road with me. So when I'll set up trips, let's say, to meet with auto dealers, and I'll set up a 1 Million Cups presentation there so I can present myself to the community. I think Springfield was probably the second biggest group, and the people who were involved and stuff were very enthusiastic about it, and it worked out well. Kansas City, of course, the mothership always had a big, group. But I was very impressed with Springfield the first time. I was impressed with Springfield this time too. The new move is really great. So it all worked out great. Certain places worked out better, but you introduce yourself to people, they think about you, they might even use your website, at the worst. So yeah, it worked out great.
Awesome. So you've experienced some growth since the last time you presented. If there's someone out there that has an idea and they might be a little intimidated to make that idea into reality, what would you say for you was kind of that aha moment that made you take that leap of faith, or that made you start what you're doing today?
Well, that's a good question. I felt, I did a lot of research, talked to a lot of people, okay? I just didn't come up with an idea and say, I'm going to do this. I quit a job that I was making lots of money and had a great job. So it wasn't the job situation. It was just that I felt in my soul, in my, to myself, that it was important I did this. And it was the combination of finding the problem in the business from the auto dealer perspective, for me, auto dealer perspective and the consumer's perspective, and putting them together to solve something. And then it was meeting the right people, talking to everybody as much as you can, getting ideas, getting connections, and that kind of stuff before you do something like that. So it takes a lot. It took a lot more money than what we thought it would. It was a lot slower start than what we thought it would. But if you talk to enough people, if you market yourself enough, maybe not in the amount of money you want to, but in communications like this, at 1 Million Cups and stuff like that, you eventually get enough information put together to put a business together that's going to work, and that's what I've done.
All right, well, if you've attended 1 Million Cups before, we always end it with a question, and anybody out there watching this interview, what can we do as a community to help you be successful?
Well, the three things I always say, which is important, is, for me, the connections that people bring to dealers. The ability to get to the decision maker at a dealership is important to me, because there's a lot of roadblocks you have to go through to be able to present to a dealer. So the biggest success I've had is people saying, hey, I know this guy, I know that guy, I'll introduce you. And that's been the biggest one. The second one is we're always looking at hiring across the country, good qualified salespeople who can talk on the phone, who can meet with auto dealers and are not afraid. And the other is to be able to grow as fast as we want. We're looking for opportunities to speak with people about investments, to be able to hire sales staff in different markets and be able to sign up dealers there and then grow. So we're always looking for those three things.
Very good. Well, Nick with MakeItEasyAutos.com. Go check out the website. Contact Nick with feedback, input, help. Thanks for being here today. We hope to see you again soon. All right, we are here with the ferocious, very motivational Ellen Rohr, who just presented here at 1 Million Cups Springfield. Ellen, just share maybe a little bit about your experience here this morning.
Oh, I'm like buzzing. It was so much fun, very exciting. The energy from the audience is, it's not like me sharing what I know, it's more like what could we discover together. I love this group. Thank you so much for having me today. So today I talked about making business uncomplicated and simplifying, and then we just played around with that idea with the audience and asked questions and chatted it up.
So keeping it simple, I think it's extremely important. There are a lot of people that come to this that are thinking about starting a company, taking that leap of faith. For you, what is that one piece of advice that you would share with them that you assume they're probably stuck on right now in their own head?
Well, the two, I'm going to give you two. Okay, still simple. One is you're going to have to figure out the money. Like, you're the boss, it's your money. You can't just hire an accountant and cross your fingers. So if you're not willing to do that, I'm here to encourage you. It's not that hard. You just need some help, elbow to elbow with someone who understands the money and put the scorecard in place. So the money matters. The money doesn't just follow. Have I said that enough? All right, so keep that simple and figure that out. And the second thing is I like to put a plan together. Now, when I say that, someone might think like, oh, like dieting, like business plans are no fun. But anything that you do that helps you clarify your intention is going to make things less complicated, make it easier to get what you want. So to spend time thinking about what you really, really want, you could write an essay, you could do a Pinterest board, you could go online and get a business plan template. I've got help at my website too. But a little planning will keep you from just going in a million directions and racking up debt and causing a lot of heartache. Business doesn't have to work. But those two things, keep track of the money and put a little plan together, are going to escalate your chances of success by your own yardstick.
That's awesome stuff.
Ellen, how old are you?
I'm 33.
33. My kid is 30. But I love the youth, right? Don't believe people who tell you this is going to be hard.
Yep.
Why?
It's an interesting dynamic here in Springfield at our 1 Million Cups, because we have everybody from retired business people to people who have just gotten started to college students and everything in between. And I think that array of people, demographics, is extremely important.
And I think there's a lot of people, just because they work so hard, who want to tell you how hard this is going to be. Says who? Mm-hmm. Does Richard Branson look like he's working that hard to you? No. And what I found is as people get successful, they're learning to delegate, they're focusing on the few things that matter. It isn't as hard as we're making it.
That's important. Keep it simple. Ellen has a website where you can go get some help. She has written a book that helps you put together a business plan or a business model over the course of a weekend. So, Ellen, where can we go find you online, and where can we go buy your book?
Well, I put a little freebie together, and it's about the numbers, a one-page financial report, super easy. If you go to ellenrohr, ELLENROHR.com/cups, CUPS, name and email address, then you're on my mailing list, so we're together. And then I've got a little download, one-page dashboard report for your financials, easy peasy.
Awesome. Thank you for being here.